Introduction. Navigating the delicate subject of intimacy can be challenging for many men, especially when emotions, respect, and timing all play critical roles. In this video, How to Ask a Woman for Intimacy, Psychological Trick Stoicism, we explore a powerful, respectful approach grounded in emotional intelligence and Stoic principles. Instead of relying on pressure or persuasion, this method focuses on self-control, calm confidence, and deep understanding of female psychology. You'll learn how to create emotional safety, read subtle signals, and communicate your desires in a way that fosters trust and connection. If you've ever felt unsure about how to express your needs without sounding needy or aggressive, this is the insight you've been waiting for. 1. Master emotional self-control. Mastering emotional self-control is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. It's the ability to remain calm and composed, even when life becomes chaotic, stressful, or triggering. Emotional self-control does not mean suppressing or denying your feelings. It means understanding them, managing them with intention, and choosing how to respond rather than react. When we allow emotions to dictate our behavior, we often make impulsive decisions, damage relationships, or create unnecessary internal suffering. But when we pause, reflect, and regulate, we create space for wisdom, clarity, and stronger self-respect. At the heart of emotional self-control is awareness. The first step is recognizing your triggers, what situations or people provoke strong reactions. Once identified, practice observing these reactions without judgment. Breathing deeply, grounding yourself in the present moment, and stepping back from the situation mentally helps you detach from the emotional intensity. You shift from being controlled by the emotion to controlling your response to it. This discipline is a key trait in Stoic philosophy, where mastery over emotions is linked to inner peace and strength. A person who cannot control their emotions is easily manipulated, while one who can remain centered in the face of chaos commands quiet power. Self-control is not weakness, it is supreme strength. In moments of conflict, rejection, disappointment, or provocation, emotional self-control allows you to act with reason rather than react in regret. Over time, mastering this skill builds resilience, deepens emotional intelligence, and earns you the respect of others. You become someone others can trust to stay balanced under pressure. Ultimately, emotional self-control is not just a practice, it is a way of being. It's the foundation of mature love, authentic leadership, and true self-mastery. 2. Create emotional safety. First, creating emotional safety is the foundation of any meaningful, lasting relationship, romantic, platonic, or professional. Without it, people cannot express themselves honestly, grow authentically, or feel valued. Emotional safety means providing a space where another person feels seen, heard, accepted, and unjudged. It starts with trust. When someone opens up to you, your first response should not be correction, criticism, or control. It should be presence. Listen without interruption. Validate their experience even if you don't fully understand it. This doesn't mean agreeing with everything. It means respecting that their emotions are real and worthy of attention. Avoid using past vulnerabilities against them, especially during conflict. Consistency is key. Your words and actions must align over time. People feel safest when they know what to expect from you emotionally. Be reliable, follow through on your promises, and when you mess up, own it with humility and transparency. Also, regulate your own emotions. If you're reactive, unpredictable, or dismissive, it becomes unsafe for others to be vulnerable around you. Emotional safety also thrives in environments where appreciation is voiced regularly. Let people know when they're doing something well, or when they matter to you. That simple gesture can counter years of internalized fear or doubt. Finally, be patient. Emotional safety isn't built overnight. It grows with consistency, empathy, and the daily choice to prioritize connection over ego. Whether you want to deepen your romantic relationship, repair a friendship, or lead more effectively at work, emotional safety is the invisible glue that holds human bonds together. Cultivating it isn't weakness, it's strength, and it's the secret ingredient to trust, loyalty, and true intimacy. When you create emotional safety first, you lay the groundwork for others to meet you with openness, respect, and authentic connection. 3. Understand her signals. Understanding a woman's signals is essential for building meaningful, respectful, and emotionally intelligent connections. Many men fail to interpret nonverbal cues, subtle signs, or emotional undertones, which often leads to confusion, missed opportunities, or even unintentionally crossing boundaries. Women, in general, communicate a great deal through body language, tone of voice, micro-expressions, and changes in behavior rather than direct verbal expression. These signals are not meant to confuse or manipulate, but are often the result of social conditioning, emotional sensitivity, or a natural preference for indirect communication. Learning to read and respond appropriately to these cues shows emotional maturity and builds trust. One of the first and most common signals is eye contact. If she maintains soft, frequent eye contact, especially when paired with a slight smile, it can indicate interest or comfort. On the other hand, lack of eye contact, Crossed arms or physical distancing may be signs she's uncomfortable or not interested. Similarly, her tone of voice can carry subtle emotional cues: enthusiasm, hesitation, nervousness, or disinterest. Learning to hear the emotion behind the words is key. Another important aspect is mirroring behavior. If a woman subtly mirrors your posture, movements, or speech patterns, it often suggests she feels a sense of connection or comfort. Light touches such as brushing your arm, fixing your collar, or playfully nudging are strong signs of affection or attraction. But they must be read within context and never assumed as consent for deeper intimacy. Respect is critical. Texting behavior also offers insight. Prompt replies, thoughtful responses, emojis, or initiating conversations can suggest interest. Conversely, delayed responses, short replies, or one-sided conversations may signal disinterest or preoccupation. However, it's crucial to avoid overanalyzing and instead look for consistent patterns over time. Emotional signals are also powerful indicators. A woman who feels emotionally safe with you may share vulnerabilities, seek your opinion, or express her feelings openly. This emotional openness is not to be taken lightly. It is often a sign of deep trust. If she seeks your company during tough times or values your presence in her decision-making, she's likely signaling emotional investment. However, you must also be attuned to disengagement signals. If she starts pulling away, shows minimal enthusiasm, avoids plans, or stops sharing, these signs must be respected as signals of distance or disconnection. Pushing beyond this point can be damaging. The Stoic man observes without reacting impulsively. He values clarity but does not force connection. He understands that emotional intelligence involves not only recognizing green lights, but also respecting red ones. Ultimately, understanding her signals is less about decoding a mystery and more about being fully present, emotionally aware, and respectful. It means noticing the unsaid, paying attention to shifts in mood or energy, and responding not with desperation but calm, honest curiosity. Relationships thrive when both individuals feel seen and respected. By developing this awareness, a man becomes more grounded, empathetic, and far more attractive, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. True connection is built not through pressure, but through understanding. 4. Use calm and direct communication in every area of life, whether in relationships, the workplace, or personal development. Calm and direct communication is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. It is a discipline that strengthens emotional intelligence, builds respect, and fosters clarity in even the most difficult situations. To communicate calmly and directly means to speak with intention, without aggression or passivity, and to express what you mean without manipulation, sarcasm, or emotional volatility. It is not about suppressing emotion but rather learning how to express your needs, concerns, or boundaries in a composed and honest manner. This form of communication is a cornerstone of maturity because it demands inner control, empathy, and self-awareness. Rather than reacting impulsively, you respond with purpose and restraint. People often confuse calmness with weakness, but in reality, calmness in speech is a reflection of internal power. When you stay calm, especially in emotionally charged moments, you maintain control over the conversation and over yourself. Anger, shouting, passive aggression, or avoidance may feel instinctive, but they rarely bring resolution. Calmness diffuses tension. It allows others to actually hear you instead of becoming defensive. At the same time, being direct ensures the message is clear and not diluted by vague language or hidden meanings. Directness is not rudeness, it is clarity. When you speak directly, you respect both yourself and the other person by not expecting them to read between the lines or guess your intentions. Practicing calm and direct communication also improves trust. People learn they can count on you to express yourself without drama or deception. They begin to feel safer around you because your communication is stable, grounded, and predictable. Whether you're setting a boundary, asking for support, expressing discomfort, or giving feedback, your words hold weight when delivered without emotional chaos. You also invite reciprocal honesty. When you speak this way, you create space for others to respond in kind without fear of judgment or hostility. To develop this skill, start by pausing before you speak, especially in moments of tension. Ask yourself what you really want to say and what the clearest way to say it is. Practice using I statements to express how something affects you rather than blaming the other person. For example, say I feel disrespected when I'm interrupted rather than you never let me finish. Eliminate unnecessary emotional tones. No sarcasm, no dramatic sighs, no accusatory phrasing. Keep your tone measured, your body language open, and your words precise. Over time, calm and direct communication becomes a habit. You'll notice others respond more positively to you. Conflicts become easier to navigate. Your confidence grows, not because you dominate others, but because you know you can face any situation without losing composure or clarity. In a noisy world where many resort to shouting or shutting down, your ability to remain calm and speak directly becomes a rare and admirable strength. Mastering this communication style will elevate every part of your life because people listen more when you don't have to yell. 5. Don't seek approval or validation. One of the most liberating decisions you can make in life is to stop seeking approval or validation from others. From a young age, we're conditioned to look outward for confirmation that we're good enough through praise from parents, grades in school, social media likes, or the opinions of peers. Over time, this creates a habit where your sense of worth is tied to how others perceive you. This external validation may feel rewarding in the short term, but in the long run it traps you in a cycle of self-doubt, insecurity, and dependence on others' opinions. When you constantly need others to validate your choices, appearance, emotions, or success, you're giving away your personal power. You become reactive instead of intentional. You bend and adjust yourself to fit expectations that often aren't even your own. The fear of judgment becomes louder than your inner voice, silencing your authenticity. Breaking free from this pattern starts with recognizing that your worth is not contingent on anyone's opinion. True confidence comes from self-approval, knowing who you are, what you value, and why you do what you do. When you are centered within yourself, you no longer chase applause. You stop molding your identity based on trends, gossip, or social validation. You trust your own judgment, even when others disagree. You act from principle, not pressure. And ironically, this self-possession is what often earns deeper respect from the right people. This mindset doesn't mean becoming arrogant or refusing to listen to feedback. Growth requires humility and openness, but there's a critical difference between listening to constructive input and living in fear of disapproval. When you stop seeking validation, you become selective about whose voice matters. Not every opinion is valuable or relevant. Some people speak from their own fears, insecurities, or ignorance. Others may project their limitations onto you. Seeking validation makes you vulnerable to manipulation. Instead, cultivate inner validation. Reflect on your values, strengths, and growth. Keep promises to yourself. Set boundaries. Accept yourself, fully, flaws and all. The more you build your self-worth from within, the less you'll be shaken by criticism or flattery. The world will always have opinions, but they don't define you unless you let them. When you don't seek approval, you become emotionally free. You make bolder decisions. You speak more truthfully. You become grounded and self-led, which is not only powerful but deeply attractive to others. In the end, living without the need for approval is a daily discipline. It's about choosing authenticity over performance, integrity over popularity, and peace over people-pleasing. It's a silent strength, the kind that doesn't shout but stands firm. Remember, you don't need permission to be yourself. You never did. The only validation that truly matters is your own. 6. Lead through energy, not control. True leadership is not about force, domination, or micromanagement. It is about influence, presence, and alignment. When you lead through energy rather than control, you become a guiding force that others naturally want to follow, not someone they are forced to obey. This type of leadership stems from inner confidence, emotional stability, and a deep sense of purpose. Your energy or attitude, intention, and emotional state affects everyone around you. Whether you're leading a team, a family, or your own life, the energy you bring to any situation shapes how others respond. People don't respond well to being pushed, coerced, or controlled. These tactics often breed resistance, resentment, or silent compliance. But when you lead through energy, you radiate clarity, calmness, and conviction. This draws people in, inspires trust, and invites cooperation rather than submission. Leading through energy starts with self-awareness. You must become conscious of what you're projecting: fear or confidence, doubt or clarity, chaos or order. If your energy is anxious, needy, or forceful, others will either mirror it or resist it. But if you're grounded, emotionally regulated, and purpose-driven, your energy will uplift and center those around you. In moments of conflict or uncertainty, a calm presence often speaks louder than words. When others see that you're unshaken, that you're not reacting but responding with clarity, they feel safe and guided. Control, on the other hand, is rooted in fear, the fear of losing authority, status, or results. Leaders who try to control every detail often end up stifling creativity, damaging morale, and causing burnout. It creates a culture of dependency where people wait for permission instead of taking initiative. Energy-based leadership empowers others. It says, "I trust you. I see your potential. Let's move together with clarity and purpose." It decentralizes authority without sacrificing accountability. You hold space for others to rise, to make decisions, to grow into their best selves. Moreover, leading through energy is not passive or weak. It requires strength, emotional maturity, and discipline. You lead by example, by how you manage stress, how you handle setbacks, and how you uplift others. Your energy becomes your message, your strategy, your influence. This form of leadership also transcends words. Even in silence, your presence can communicate assurance, vision, and confidence. This is why some of the most respected leaders aren't the loudest in the room, they're the most energetically aligned. Their power comes not from force but from consistency, clarity, and calm. In today's world where uncertainty, burnout, and disconnection are common. People are craving leaders who bring peace, not pressure, alignment, not anxiety. If you can regulate your own energy, you can regulate the emotional climate of a room. That's real leadership. The next time you're tempted to control, pause and ask, what energy am I bringing into this moment? Shift from control to connection, from force to presence. Lead not through fear, but through the power of your energy, and watch everything around you transform. 7. Timing is everything in life. Success often hinges not only on skill or effort but on timing. Understanding the importance of timing is the key to making the right decisions, seizing opportunities, and avoiding unnecessary setbacks. Timing is the invisible thread that connects preparation with opportunity. You can say or do the right thing, but if it's done at the wrong moment, it can fail to make the intended impact. Whether it's in relationships, career moves, investments, or personal growth, the timing of your actions can define your results. Consider a seed planted out of season. It won't grow, no matter how fertile the soil is. Likewise, a business idea may be brilliant, but if introduced before the market is ready, it may flop. Timing isn't about luck. It's about awareness, patience, and understanding the rhythms of life. It means knowing when to act, when to wait, and when to walk away. Good timing requires emotional intelligence and self-control. Many people fail because they act out of impulse or impatience. They confess love too early, quit jobs too soon, or enter commitments they're not ready for. On the flip side, others hesitate so long that opportunities pass them by. Timing is a dance between action and stillness. It teaches you that delay isn't denial, and waiting isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The most successful people are not just talented, they understand when the world is ready for what they have to offer. They don't rush the process, they respect it. They observe patterns, people, and progress.